Hi guys, excuse the look. I literally woke up, went to the gym, came back. Just to put it out there, I cooked an Italian dish and an Indian dish. OG over here. And my voice is gone. Or it's going, should I say. I spent the whole weekend talking non-stop, so I'm paying the price now. But there you go. I'm sure I'll be all right. So it's coming up to it's coming up to a year. Since Rico passed away, next month. And in the last year, there's not a day that I've not thought about Rico. I think about him first thing when I wake up. I think about him during the day. I think about him at night time. I think about him especially when I'm in my car, It's almost like I immerse myself in him and us and just feeling. I'll put a playlist on and, yeah, I'll just feel the sadness and I'll feel the joy, But I often find sometimes I'm walking past something and I'll just start laughing because it will remind me of something that Rico said. And he was such a funny person. He was hilarious, Some of it was dad jokes, but what I wouldn't do to hear those dad jokes again now. And I was a very serious person, very much. I say I didn't laugh much, but saying that, when I've listened to our videos, I'm laughing a lot. So he probably brought the humour out of me, but I was always like the planner and he was always like the chill. But I've taken on a lot of the chill. I'm a lot more chilled out now than I was when he was alive, because I thought to myself, I just can't stress over what's going to happen in 10 years' time. I might not even be alive in 10 years' time. That doesn't mean you can't plan at all, but you can't live in the present, in the future. Live in the present. But you can't always be living in the future because then you're missing out on the here and now, right? And all you really have is the here and now. And sometimes it's so easy to forget that, but I have tried to continually remind myself that, yes, I can plan for next week and you should. And I can plan for next year. And I can have a 5-year plan. But I can't live there all the time, I have to live in the here and now. Because physically, I don't even know, but in terms of senses, this is it. Like right now, me talking to you, this is all I have in this moment. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, right? I don't know. So I've taken that on board, but I've really spent the last few months preparing myself for what's to come. I feel like I've navigated Rico's death the best way I possibly could. I couldn't have done it differently. I wouldn't have done it differently. Looking back. I feel proud of myself, and it's not very often that I feel proud of myself, and that's a fact. It's very rare that I feel proud of myself. I feel grateful a lot, but not really proud of myself. But I am proud of myself of how I've navigated Rico's death, because there's nothing that I would change. I wouldn't do it differently, and it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I think I've said that a few times. I've never done anything that's as hard as having to navigate Rico's death. It knocked me for 6. It literally shook my world. So yeah, I'm just literally been preparing. The bereavement counselling's really helped in terms of just me understanding my thought processes. But I think the biggest thing that came out of my bereavement counselling is the fact that I can trust in me trusting myself. That's crazy, man. That's crazy that I can, and it's such a beautiful place to be that you can actually trust yourself. I trust myself. I trust in my feelings. I trust in my decisions. I trust in what I feel is wrong or what is right. For me, I'm not talking like in terms of, sort of the wider thing, sort of, wider subjects, because of course there's always room to be educated. But in terms of what's right for me, I know what's right for me, and I can trust that, and that's a beautiful place to be. But it's going to be hard for sure. It's going to be hard, because although I've navigated his grief and stuff, it hasn't made the sadness any less sad. It hasn't made it any less painful. And I miss him so much. A lot's happened in the last year. Good things, beautiful things. Things that he should have been a part of, you know. So yeah, the pain doesn't go away. The sadness doesn't go away. I think it just becomes easier to carry.